Welcome back everybody, this is Head 85, we are on episode 8 on the WCW Pro Wrestling Sim Save, and we're just going to dive straight into it right off the bat. This is Behind the Curtain, where we get the behind the scenes information of how things go down. So we cut to Shane McMahon's office. He's at his large imposing desk looking through some paperwork. A sign of the recent chaos in WCW, he taps a pen against the papers. Suddenly there's a sharp, deliberate knock on the door. Shane looks up, a flicker of annoyance in his eyes, expecting perhaps a staff member. Yeah, come in. As the door opens, you got Kevin Nash. He saunters in with his signature cool confidence, a slight smirk on his face. He doesn't wait for an invitation, he just makes himself comfortable on one of the plush chairs in Shane's office. Nash: Evening, Shano. Hope I'm not interrupting anything important. Just figured I'd give you a heads up. Shane leans back with a forced smile on his face. Nash: Always a pleasure. A heads up about what exactly? Nash: Oh, just about the future, boss man. The future of WCW. You see, we've been wondering, everyone's been wondering, about what's next for the NWO. And I told you, Shane, the NWO is for life. It adapts, it evolves, it finds the next generation of guys who understand they run this business. Nash pauses, knowing passing between him and Shane. His eyes drift towards the door. A tall, powerful figure emerges. It's Joseph Fenech Jr. He looks a bit different. He's got a darker look on about him. He's obviously wearing the iconic NWO t-shirt. He walks in slowly but deliberate and stands just behind Nash, looking imposing. Nash gestures to Fenech, a casual flick of the wrist. Shane, allow me to introduce you to the first official member of the new NWO, the man who's going to set things right, bring some order to this little chaos playpen of yours. He's not just Joseph Fenech Jr. anymore. From now on, you can call him the Regulator Fenech. So the Regulator just stares at Shane. His eyes are cold, unblinking, saying nothing. He has pure menace about him. Shane, he sits up from his desk. The Regulator, huh, Nash? What is this? What are you planning? Nash: Planning? Oh, Shane, it's simple. This is just the beginning. The Regulator here is just the first piece of the puzzle. At Sin, you're going to see the rest of the NWO, and then when we're all together, when the band's back in town, we're not just going to make a statement, Shane. We're making a declaration that the NWO is back, and we're here to take what's ours. Nash slowly raises from the chair, a menacing grin in his eye. The Regulator takes a step forward, his shadow falling over Shane's desk. The message is clear. Nash claps Fenech on the shoulder, then turns and saunters out the office. Fenech slowly follows behind. Shane is left alone and visually shaken by the encounter as the screen fades. So good 75, and we're going to give Joseph Fenech here a bit of a push. We then sort of have another highlight of Nash. This time we cut back to Thunder. We're in a hallway. You got Tessa Blanchard seen standing in her wrestling gear, but she's visibly upset, leaning against the cinder block wall, arms crossed, staring at the floor. She's glancing at the monitor, watching the show, looks frustrated and disappointment. She shakes her head. She's muttering to herself, "Unbelievable. Not again." The implication is clear, she wasn't booked, and her considerable talent feels wasted. Just then we have Nash casually strolls into view. He spots Tessa and he leans against the opposite wall. Nash then says, "Rough night, kid," or more accurately, "No night at all, huh?" Tessa looks up, composes herself, because she is the chosen one. She says, "It's none of your business, Nash." Nash says, "Oh, I think so. I see a lot of things, Tessa. I see talent, raw, undeniable talent. The kind of talent that should be front and centre, main eventing, carrying the women's division on its back. This kind of talent shouldn't be stuck backstage collecting dust. Nash says, but I can also see frustration and disappointment, and I gotta ask Tessa, if you're the chosen one, why isn't anyone here choosing you? Why are you being overlooked time and time again? Tessa's eyes narrow. His words clearly struck a nerve there, an internal belief of her own superiority and current discontent. Nash, look, I'm not here to badmouth the company much, but sometimes you got the goods, you just need someone to open the right doors, someone to show you the path, someone to guide your career that you've been building. Nash pushes up off the wall, turns around, starts walking slowly down the hallway, not looking back at Tessa initially, almost as if he expects her to follow. He speaks over his shoulder. I've got some plans brewing for Sin, big plans. Plans that are all about opportunity for those that are smart enough to see it. Why don't you just walk with me? Hear me out. What's the worst that could happen? You got to hear some wisdom from the big man himself? Tessa sort of hesitates for a moment. Her eyes are darting between Nash's retreating back and the monitor. After a while, she takes a deep breath, determined gleam returns to her eye, and she starts to walk over to Nash. And that's how that scene ends. So Tessa is sort of getting some advice now from Kevin Nash. That's got an 89. We've got a sit-down interview with Velvet Sky. She has got Koki Amori and Stevie Turner, The Evolution, looking futuristic as always. Velvet, welcome back everyone. I'm joined by Koki and Stevie, collectively known as The Evolution. Ladies, last week you secured a decisive victory over Lola Vice and Tia Hale. How does it feel to get back to winning ways in such a critical event, heading into a critical event such as Sin? Stevie, she's like, Velvet darling, allow me to correct you. We were never not on our winning ways. A single abnormality, a minor miscalculation, does not define the transition of greatness. Last week, that wasn't a return to form. It's a reaffirmation, a reminder to everyone in this pathetic division that the evolution is simply inevitable. Man, I've got to ask the AI to cut down on some of these futuristic promos, but hey, Koki, the future is not a prediction, it's a design, and we, the evolution, are the architects. Our vision is clear, total dominance. The so-called women's war at Sin is merely another stepping stone on our path. Stevie, exactly. While others are brawling in a futile attempt to gain relevance, we are redefining, we are elevating, we are proving the true evolution is about intelligence, strategy, and undeniable skill. Those other women, they're stuck in the past, they're fighting for scraps, while we're building an empire. So consider this a warning. At Sin, and in every single match that follows, the evolution will continue to climb. We vow to continue because the future isn't coming, Velvet. The future is now. And we got 67 because we're still building them up. Another backstage segment. This time we cut to a hallway where we've got Joey Janela still radiating with his chaotic energy after his hardcore match recently. He's bouncing off the walls. He's got a visually wary Scotty Riggs, veteran road agent, standing patiently. His eyes occasionally drift towards the ceiling, a clear sign that his patience is wearing thin. Joey, and then I'm like, no Scotty, you gotta understand the psychology of using a flaming kendo stick outside of the ring, but still maintaining eye contact with the ref. It's an art form, man. It's like, I'm crazy, but I'm also a genius, right? You get it. The fans, they get it. They love it. Riggs, Joey, I hear you. The fans, they certainly react to you. But maybe let's just dial back the flaming part for a little while, huh? Joey, no, that's the best part. That's the spice. That's what makes it hardcore, Scotty. As Joey continues his passionate, if slightly rambling discourse, Matt Cardona, looking impeccably groomed and radiating an air of smug supremacy, strolls into the scene. He walks with a deliberate, almost swaggering pace. He doesn't acknowledge Joey, instead extending a hand directly to Scotty Riggs. Scotty, good to see you, always a professional. Riggs is like, Matt, good to see you too. Cardona then slowly turns his attention to Joey Janela. He looks him from head to toe. He doesn't say a word, but his eyes speak volumes, a clear message of mockery and dismissal. After a beat, Cardona lets out a short, hollow laugh. Not a genuine laugh, but one of pure, arrogance. He shakes his head slowly, still looking at Joey Janela, turns and continues to walk down the hallway, leaving Janela suddenly silent and looking slightly confused, while Scotty Riggs just offers a small apologetic shrug. So we're sort of building some more hardcore competitors here. So we've got 65. Promo time, of course, from Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. Scarlett, tick-tock, goes the clock, counting down the moments until destiny arrives. At Sin inside Hell in a Cell, two men face their fate, but only one will fulfill their prophecy. Kross, he has got dangerous confidence in him. Damian Priest, Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon thought he was clever. He thought he was putting me in a cage. He believes in containing the inevitable, and for once he did the smart thing. Because inside Hell in a Cell there are no escapes, no hiding places, no one to save you from what's coming. Shane has locked us all together, but there's only going to be one possible outcome. My destiny is to stand alone, World Heavyweight Champion, and I want the world to hear this loud and clear. Inside the steel structure, outside the steel structure, in this promotion, in this world, there is nothing. Scarlett says nothing, back to Kross, that can stop me claiming what is rightfully mine. Tick tock. And that got a 90. So as usual, our backstage segments get a good score of 79, building up some storylines behind the scenes as we look to move forward. We've got some news. Yeah, you're welcome. Sold some tickets, getting in some viewers. Mark Davis is staying with AEW. You've got Mercedes Martinez officially starting with WWE. What have we got here? TNA Impact. The Hardys beating Eddie Edwards and Dirty Dango. Cassie Lee. The Inspiration are still retaining the tag titles. Santana and Macklin beating the Good Hands. Joe Hendry beating Cedric Alexander. The main event, the Hardys continue to retain. Alright, we are now up to the Thunder before the pay-per-view. So we are at Thunder, as normal, couple of pre-show matches. We will start off here with Saray defeating Isla Dawn. 1.5 star 55. Followed up with a 6-person tag. We've got Private Party and Shun Sky Walker defeating Tevian Heights, Miles Bourne and Hayabushi. This got a good 2 star 55. So on the main show we get the old WCW Thunder video blaster on the montage of everything, pyro going up, and then we've got a mic in hand here as Shane McMahon is already in the ring, flanked by Damian Priest, Braun Strowman and Karrion Kross with Scarlett Bordeaux. Shane then goes, welcome everyone to WCW Thunder. Tonight we bring the end of the verbal warfare, the sneak attacks, the mind games. Tonight we solidify the end of this war, leading into Inferno known as Hell in a Cell, at WCW Sin. Priest, Strowman, Kross, you three have torn the division apart, but for the sake of this company and the safety of our roster, certain rules will be enforced. Once the contract is signed by all three of you, there will be absolutely no physical contact between any of you until the moment the bell rings. If you break the rule, not only will you be out of the match, you will be suspended indefinitely without pay. Everyone sort of agrees. Shane then says, "Good. Damian Priest, as our reigning WCW World Heavyweight Champion, you have the honour of signing first." He steps forward, picks up the pen, without a word signs the contract. He's focused, and then hands it back to Shane. Shane goes, "Strowman, your turn." Strowman lumbers forward. He doesn't look at Shane, Priest or Kross. His gaze is fixed solely on the WCW World Heavyweight Championship belt, which is on the table. His eyes narrow, intensity burning within. He picks the pen up, signs the paper, and hands the contract back. Shane then goes on, "Finally, Karrion, Kross, come sign your destiny." Kross then approaches the table, picks up the pen, but instead of signing it, he leans directly over the table into Priest and Strowman's face, and then talks. "Tick-tock, boys, your time is almost up. One of you, you're too weak, the other, too predictable. My destiny is to drag you both into the abyss, and when I walk out of that cell at Sin, the only thing you'll hear is fall and pray." Kross locks eyes with Strowman. A mischievous smirk comes across Kross's face, and he slaps Braun Strowman hard across the face. The sound echoes throughout the arena. Strowman's eyes widen. He roars a primal sound of rage and lunges at Kross, who quickly jots his name down on the contract and shoves the paper back into Shane's hands and retreats behind Scarlett with his triumphant mocking grin on his face. Strowman's like a raging bull though, trying to get to Kross, but Shane steps in between them. Shane is shouting at Strowman, going, "Braun, stop, that's it. You touch him, you're out, you're suspended. Let him go, Braun, or you'll forfeit your shot, you'll forfeit Sin. Is that what you want?" Strowman is clearly very angry, staring daggers into Kross, but eventually he sort of stops. He looks Kross into the eye and says, "Fine. You want no physical contact. Fine, but I've got aggression, Shane. I've got aggression that needs to be released. You need to send someone out here right now. I want a fight. I want a fight, or I'm tearing this arena apart." So as everyone starts to leave, Braun Strowman's left in the ring, pacing up and down, waiting for a fight. And we got an 86, good rating. So Strowman ends up facing, from WWE, The Miz. And as you can see with the overness here, Strowman got a nice win and a little popularity boost, 1.5 star, but overall 76. We then have a triple threat match. The debut of Giovanni Vinci defeats Lexus Kin and Tetsu Endo here, 2.5 star, 59. We then cut backstage with Shane McMahon standing in his office. He's shaking hands with Matt Cardona, who's looking incredibly dressed. He's radiating confidence. But we also have the slightly buzzing Joey Janela. The Hardcore Championship belt is sat prominently on Shane and Mac's desk. Shane there says, "Gentlemen, thank you for coming. As you both know, at Sin we are going to crown a new WCW Hardcore Champion. This title represents a unique brand of controlled chaos, and I believe both of you possess the unique attributes required to hold it. This match between the two of you will be absolute anarchy." Cardona nods, smug grin on his face. Joey Janela sort of bouncing slightly on his feet. It looks like he could go now. Cardona steps forward, his eyes fixed on Shane. He completely blanks Joey Janela. Goes, "Shane, with all due respect, you don't need to look any further. You're looking at him right now. The next Hardcore Champion of WCW is obviously Matt Cardona." Joe Janela is not happy about this because Cardona just exited the office without even acknowledging him again. Janela tries to make a witty comeback, saying, "Hold on a second, pal. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm the." But Cardona's already gone. The door was swinging shut behind him. With Janela just standing there. He's looking a little bit deflated in the moment. Was stolen from him. Turns frustrated to see Scotty Riggs again standing there, the road agent. Jeremy then he points at the door that Cardona's exit from and says to Scotty, "You know I can take him, right, Scotty? I can take him. I just got a lot of ideas, you know. He doesn't even know what I'm capable of." Scotty Riggs slowly raises both his hands to his head, burying his face in them, letting out a long, silent sigh, which speaks volumes about his opinion of Joe Janela's chances. All this time, Shane McMahon was sat there watching with a bemused look on his face. And overall, that got 74. Even Riggs got a little bit of an openness boost there. Singles action. The Regulator Fennec defeats Ultimo Dragon. So obviously now we're trying to give Fennec a push. NWO colours now, 2.5 star, 49. In tag team action, we have got the Evolution. Again, winning again, defeating Caden Carter. And I know just got 1 star, 48. Skyscrapers from AAA beat Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane, and from Evolve beat Jack Cartwheel and Timothy Thatcher, just to give Corbin and Dijak a little bit of momentum, to be honest. We then get the old WCW logo flashes on the screen. Get some music building. We get shots of Nash Carter and Gigi Jolin walking down a dark alleyway, busy street. You know, edgy street style gear. The screen then abruptly changes to a clean, polished and somewhat sterile lobby of the WCW headquarters. The doors slide open. Nash Carter, Gigi Jolin stride in with deliberate, confident swagger in their face, and now a visible, defiant grin on their lips. They pass staff, start to annoy him, like they knock off papers off the desk. Carter accidentally elbows someone, basically causing a little bit of rebelliousness. Carter then says, "You've seen the videos. You've heard the whispers. You have been warned, GG. But seeing is believing, isn't it? And now we're here in the flesh, walking the halls of your so-called empire." Nash, they call this place the big leads. They talk about tradition, rules, respect. We call it an opportunity. GG. An opportunity to smash every single one of these outdated concepts. We're not here to play by your rules. We're not here to make friends. We're not here to ask for anything. Carter, we're here to showcase our skills, to tear down the walls you've built, to redefine what it's meant to be on top. GG. I hope you are ready for this. And then both of them together, because we're not here to play. We're here to grab the brass ring. And then Sin flashes on the screen and we've got an 81. So it's Nash Carter, Gigi Dolan to debut soon. Tag team action, we have got Bliss teaming with Natty, defeating La Hydra and Lady Flammer from AAA here. 1.5, 55. Builds some momentum. Ziggler defeating again from Noah, Etta. A good match, 2 star, 60. Give overness boost for Ziggler. Following the match, the bell has rung between Ziggler and Noah's high-flying Etta. Ziggler weathered the storm with the rapid-fire strikes, aerial maneuvers, and managed to connect a picture-perfect super kick, followed by a zigzag for the 3 count. The ring announcer says, "Here is your winner, the United States Champion, Dolph Ziggler." As his music hits, he slowly grabs his belt, gets to his feet, but suddenly from out of nowhere, Carlito runs down the ramp, steel chair in hand. Ziggler, still recovering, turns just as Carlito slides in the ring and blasts him with a steel chair. Ziggler collapses, Carlito drops the chair and pounces. stomping repeatedly on the fallen champion, fueled by rage and jealousy. Carlito then grabs the US title belt from Ziggler's unconscious grasp. He raises it above his head. You know, a well executed plan. Clearly, though, he's got more sinister. He looks at Ziggler and he wants to crack his skull in with that US title. Just as he prepares to strike, the familiar intense music of the Rogue Horsemen blasts through the arena. Arn Anderson, Brock Anderson, and Elijah Holyfield make their way sprinting down the ramp. Then Carlito's eyes widen, surprise and alarm. He sees he's at a number disadvantage, quickly drops the title, clutches the chair and bails from the ring. Retreating rapidly up the ramp as the Rogue Horsemen slide in. Arn stares him down, pointing a stern finger, warning him as Brock and Elijah stand guard over the dazed Ziggler. The Rogue Horseman helps Ziggler to his feet. He's still groggy, clutching his head, but he acknowledges their presence with a nod. Arn then steps forward, his expression serious and welcoming, extends a hand, offering the handshake to Ziggler. That is like the symbolic invitation to join the Horsemen. Ziggler looks at Arn's outstretched hand. He glances at Brock and Elijah. He pauses, the weight of the decision palpable in the arena. The crowd holds its breath, but then to everyone's surprise, Ziggler pushes Arn's hand away. Instead, he throws his hands around Arn, giving him a tight, heartful hug. A genuine relief smile breaks across Ziggler's face. Arn returns the hug, a rare smile of his own glancing his lips. Brock and Elijah step forward, each slapping Ziggler on the back. They welcome him to the fold. The Rogue Horsemen stand united in the centre of the ring. Dolph Ziggler has officially joined. We then get the camera going backstage to a dimly lit office. We've got Kevin Nash leaning against the desk watching this unfold on a small monitor. He's seen Ziggler and Arn hug. His cool demeanour falters slightly and he's got a look of disbelief and irritation across his face. He shakes his head and turns to the regulator, who's standing silently beside him, his expression unchanged. Nash is like, can you believe this guy actually hugged him? That old man still got it. You can tell Nash is disappointed, clearly annoyed by Ziggler's decision. Just then the door opens and in walks Tessa Blanchard. But she's not in her regular gear. She is sporting from head to toe the NWO logo. Looking powerful, confident and utterly transformed. Her chosen one aura is now fully channeled through the NWO brand. Nash's frown instantly vanishes and is replaced by a wide, triumphant smile. He looks at Tessa and back at the monitor where the Rogue Horseman is still celebrating. He claps his hands together once, the sound of pure satisfaction. Then Nash says, see Fennec, some people know how to make the right decision. Tessa, my girl, you look perfect. You made the right call, the absolute right call. Nash nods at Tessa's approval. She returns with a smirk on of her own. The camera holds Nash and Tessa, the embodiment of the new dangerous alliance they've formed. And there we go, the beginning of the NWO black and white is Fennec, the regulator himself. We've got Kevin Nash and the chosen one, Tessa Blanchard. Singles action, Braun Breaker defeats Montez Ford. Braun is on a bit of a roll right now. 1.5 stars, but 73. Another singles action, Ronda Rousey defeats Dakota Kai, and this was the main event, I believe. 1.5 stars, 73. Post-match, Ronda doesn't let go of the ankle lock immediately. She holds it on for a few more seconds, and then before finally letting go, Dakota Kai is clutching her ankle, rolling around in pain. Shayna Baszler hits the ring as well. They begin a brutal beat down as they've been doing. They're stomping on her injured leg. Shayna's getting some vicious knees into the midsection. They drag Dakota into a corner so Shayna can deliver some charging running knees. Suddenly the music of Alexa Bliss hits. The arena lights do the haunting purple as she sprints down to the ring. Her expression is a mix of fury and concern because she keeps glancing over her shoulder if someone was to be following her, but she's alone. There's no Natty. But anyway, she gets to the ring with a flurry of punches and kicks. However, momentarily catches up with her. She catches Ronda and Shayna off guard. Dakota Kai tries to get in, limping around heavily to make it a 2-on-2 brawl. However, the heels overcome this. The numbers game eventually starts to turn as Ronda and Shayna combined MMA experience and raw power allow them to get the upper hand. Ronda hits Alexa with a judo throw while Shayna traps Kai in her clutch, slamming her back down as they begin to dismantle their opponents. They hit Alexa with a vicious double team maneuver. They turn their attention back to the battered Dakota Kai, but just as they prepare to hit the devastating move on her, the music of Natty Neidhart plays through the arena. Big pop from the crowd. Cameras cut backstage, however, the music's still blaring, but we see horrifying Natty Neidhart is shown lying unconscious on the concrete floor. A pool of blood is visible beside her head. Her face is pale. She's clearly been brutally attacked, and no one else is visible, leaving the perpetrator unknown, but the message is clear. Natty isn't coming. And that is how the end of the show for Thunder ends. So we've got 85 overall, we've got 100 segment there for a brawl between these guys. Good to note that for future. Overall, a solid 77, probably one of my best Thunders I've had, rating wise. That I am very happy with. Right, let's quickly scout through the news. You're welcome, Shayna. Just over 2 million, and we're making some good money. To be honest, money's irrelevant at this stage. Alright, what have we got here? OVW planning to build the company around EC3. Well, that sort of makes sense. Some new broadcast deals for New Japan. Quick look at Ring of Honor. Kenny Omega defeated Orange Cassidy in the main event there. 91 rating for the International Championship. We'll have a look through SmackDown. We'll see what happened there. Mercedes Martinez won her debut, teaming with Charlotte Flair, beating Jade Cargill and Izzy Dane. Phoenix beating Axiom. Black beat Eric Rowan. Kalina Jordan beat Lash Legend. Nia Jax picks up a win. An angle with Miz and Roman Reigns there. R-Truth and Cody Rhodes are beaten by Josh Briggs and The Miz. We've got Sami Zayn and Bad Bunny beating Solo Sikoa and Darian Lexon. We've got Roman Reigns beating Talatonga. Joe Gacy and Uncle Howdy beating the Creed brothers. And main event time, Randy Orton defeated Rusev. Awesome. So that, everybody, is the end of this episode. The next one will, of course, be WCW Sin. Hopefully I'll see you guys again. As always, take care, everyone.